Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to crack open the Master Toolkit for Reading. We're diving into 3 seriously powerful pro-level systems that are designed to help you conquer pretty much any dense text you come across, whether that's for a big exam, a project at work, or even just something you're really passionate about learning.
You know that feeling, right? You're staring at a page that's just jam-packed with information. Your eyes are technically moving across the words, but let's be honest, nothing is sticking. It is so frustrating. Well, today, we're going to change that.
So, to guide us on this little adventure, let's meet our hero for the day, Adam Mann. He's got a pretty epic project ahead of him. He's building his own spaceship, the SS Serendipity. And to pull this off, he has to get through a mountain of technical manuals, and he's got to learn it all fast. So, to tackle this massive challenge, Adam Mann's mentor, a wise guy named Theo, doesn't just hand him a stack of books. Nope. He gives him 3 different operating systems for his brain. Each one is a specific tool perfectly designed for a specific kind of learning challenge.
Okay, first up is a system called SQ3R. Now, Adam Mann's first hurdle is a qualification exam on something called the Compendium of Infinite Well-Being. This isn't just some light reading, He needs to achieve total mastery. So think of this method as the detailed architectural blueprint for building his knowledge.
Right. So the main takeaway here is that SQ3R is your go-to system when the stakes are really high. It is literally designed for deep, deep learning and for building memories that actually last. This makes it absolutely perfect for studying or when you need to master those foundational concepts. And here's how it works in practice. So for the chapter on wealth generation, Adam Mann first does a survey. He's just scanning the headings, getting a mental map of the terrain. Then he turns a heading like the law of energetic resonance into a question. Next, he reads with a mission to hunt for the answer to his question. Now here's the key step, recite. He actually closes the book and explains the concept out loud, in his own words. And finally, he does a review by quizzing himself. You see, it's this active, really powerful loop. And just like Adam Mann says, this whole method is about active retrieval. By forcing your brain to pull the information out instead of just passively reading it, you're not just reading, you're literally building stronger, more durable pathways in your brain. Yeah, it takes a bit more effort, but wow, the payoff is huge. All right, next challenge. Adam Mann has a hands-on workshop tomorrow, and he needs to understand the ship's metallurgy. He doesn't need to memorize every single detail, he just needs a solid, practical working knowledge. For this, he needs something different. He needs a build guide.
And this is where P2R comes in. The whole focus here shifts to immediate application. P2R is way faster and more streamlined than SQ3R. It's designed for those times when you need to understand something well enough to use it, talk about it, or, build it, like right now.
The process for this one is wonderfully efficient. First, Adam Mann does a preview of the chapter, just checking out the intros, diagrams, and summaries. Then he reads, but in focused, manageable chunks, say 10 pages at a time. And here's the crucial final step. He stops to review, quickly summarizing the main ideas in his own words before he moves on. This is how he cements a really solid practical understanding without getting bogged down in all the little details.
Exactly. Think of this one as your pre-meeting briefing document. It gets you up to speed fast, and make sure you grab the key takeaways you actually need for that upcoming project, that important meeting, or, in Adam Mann's case, a spaceship building session. Okay, on to Adam Mann's third and final challenge. He's tackling the chapter on the ship's happiness core. Now, this thing is packed with complex diagrams and all these interconnected ideas. He doesn't just need to understand it, he needs a super clean, organized set of notes that he can reference later. For this job, he needs a wiring diagram.
And that's exactly what SSRun is. It's the specialist tool for taming complexity. When you're dealing with really dense technical stuff, flowcharts, a sea of data, this is the method that helps you distill all of that mess into a structured, truly usable format. Okay, here's where the magic happens with this one. After you survey and read a section, you underline, but you only mark the most essential, key explanatory sentences. But then, and listen, this is the most important part. You close the book before you start the note-taking step. This forces you to actually process and synthesize the information in your brain, not just mindlessly copy it down. Just like Adam Mann discovered, it's that translation step that makes SRun so incredibly powerful. It builds a bridge between just reading something complex and creating a set of notes that are actually useful and easy to find your way around when it's time to, build something. And now for the final boss battle. Adam Mann is facing the single most critical chapter in the entire manual, the Unified Field Theory Engine, the one that ties everything together. The stakes could not be higher. And he has a realization. He doesn't have to pick just one tool. He can combine them.
And this, right here, is the master-level insight. These systems aren't rigid, unbreakable rules. They're more like flexible components in a toolkit. The real skill is knowing how to grab the most powerful parts from each one to create your own custom strategy for your most important challenges. Just look at this beautiful synthesis he creates. He takes the big picture survey from both SQ3R and P2R. He brings in the deep thinking questions step from SQ3R. He combines the active reading of SQ3R with the strategic underlining from SRun. He then merges the powerful recite and note-taking steps together for both recall and organization, and then he wraps the whole thing up with a final, super robust review. It's the best of all worlds. So, what does all this mean for you? Well, it means you now have this incredibly versatile toolkit at your disposal. The goal isn't to just blindly use one method for everything. The real art is in intelligently picking the right tool for the specific reading task that's sitting right in front of you. So let's boil it all down one last time. This table is basically your ultimate cheat sheet. Use SQ3R, the blueprint, when you need deep mastery for things like exams. Go for P2R, the build guide, for that practical, ready-to-use understanding. And pull out SRun, the wiring diagram, when you need to create clean, organized notes from really complex technical stuff. You know, this piece of wisdom from Adam Mann's mentor, Theo, it just says it all, doesn't it? Real mastery isn't about memorizing one system. It's about developing the wisdom and the judgment to look at your learning goal and pick the absolute perfect strategy to nail it. So, as we wrap up, the real question isn't about Adam Mann anymore. It's about you. Whether you're building a spaceship or a career or maybe just a new skill, you now have the tools. The only question left is, what incredible thing are you going to build with them?